In my last video on this subject, we talked about how economic exclusion causes the black dating market to be so bad, right? So if you've been struggling to kind of end up with a partner, right, at all, especially if you were a traditionalist, if you were looking for traditional relationships, you might feel like the dating market betrayed you. But it wasn't the dating market. It was America, right? It was the market that told you to act like that. So let's just talk about a better traditional structure for black people built on our reality, not theirs. So if traditional American dating models built on government handouts and then excluded us, right? The solution isn't to copy the system that was never designed for us to win. A black couple in today's world needs a realistic structure, okay? Accounts for historical theft and labor imbalances black men and women experience, right? Distributes labor fairly so neither partner is overloaded and resentful. Work within our economic reality. So, and not that 1950s white picket fence fantasy that never applied to us. Black people never got a chance to get a picket fence. We were signed up to be living on the side of a highway, right? Like, I wish I could show y'all pictures of what black people were doing in the 1950s and what white people were doing, because applying that model to ourselves is self-destructive. So let's talk about what doesn't work. Stop copying the white wealth model, right? Build true partnership. The one income provider model worked for white people because they were given free land, Social Security, and the GI Bill. Unless you're going to get free land, Social Security, or the GI Bill today, all at once, you cannot do a one income provider situation. We never got that. So stop trying to force black men to be sole providers in a system that historically robbed them and is setting them up to fail, right? A partnership model where income and labor are split based on capability and not outdated gender roles would actually be more appealing. If both people are working, they should both contribute, and they should also both get rest. This is a big thing. Both need to get rest. Okay, split finances based on real income, not 50-50 or 100-0. Why it doesn't work? Because 50-50 is a scam. If it means splitting bills evenly while the woman does 80% of the housework, it's a scam. 100-0 means that it forces a black man to work himself into the ground while history already put him behind economically. The ground just gonna mean his death. It ain't even gonna mean nothing. Right? So why this works is that a proportional contribution model, if one does 60% of the income, they pay 60% of the bills, the other pays 40%. A balance of responsibilities, right? If one partner works longer hours, the other one does longer hours at home. Joint investment, right? If both couples should be building together, whether it's in assets, real estate, or business, that's a teamwork, right? This helps avoid financial imbalance and unpaid labor. There's no I'm just a girl, and there's no you're asking for too much. We're both accepting each other where we are. That's true partnership. Right? Black women must get relief from unpaid labor, right? Black women are still doing more household work even when they earn the same or more, right? This leads to burnout, resentment, and relationship breakdowns, right? Household chores need to be split fairly, right? No, I don't do the dishes mentality. Both cook, both clean, or hire help. That is the only options you got, right? If you actually want to see this become more productive and stop acting like white relationship structures work for black people. Child care is a shared responsibility. Black fathers are already more involved in other groups, right? Already. This should extend to all caregiving, not just fun dad moments, right? Emotional labor is real work. Black women should not be expected to be the therapist of their relationship while also handling everything else. The goal is just basically black women don't need to be strong by default. They should be rested and supported. This is also something that black men should feel. We should be rested and supported. This is the point of acknowledging where we currently are, right? Okay, so here's the thing. Black men also need to be able to build without immediate financial pressure, okay? Because black men, we have to have a conversation, us guys. And let me say it one more time. Black men must be allowed to build wealth without immediate financial pressure, right? Okay, so here's what doesn't work in the traditional dating structure. Black men are expected to provide, even though history set them back financially. This pressure usually leads to shame, depression, or self-isolation when they struggle. If black men feel like they can't measure up, they check out, right? What's the name? And that's really all that ends up happening, right? Here's what works instead, right? Economic growth as a team effort. Black men should be supported in starting a business, investing, and career advancement instead of just being workers. Mental health should be valued, right? Therapy, stress relief, open conversation should be encouraged and not seen as soft, right? And then relationships should feel like a safe space, not a performance. So if a black man is struggling financially, his worth should not be solely tied to his wallet. The goal, black men need room to grow and not feel like their value is only in their paycheck. That's it. Okay, black women need to not be strong by default and they should be rested and supported. And black men need room to grow and not feel like their only value is their paycheck. Okay, it's together. So with that word together, let's talk about how we can build generational wealth together. Here's why the typical American model doesn't work for black people. The number one reason why white couples succeed financially is because they inherit wealth and assets. That is it. Okay, it's not hard work. It's not a love story. It is solely inheritance. The number one reason why black couples struggle, right, is that we inherit struggle. Okay? We don't inherit money. We usually inherit struggle. We usually talk about generational trauma. Okay? We usually talking about trauma that our parents had and their parents had. Usually, they just talk about the money their parents had. Okay? I don't want you to envy or compare because joy will be stolen mid-video, okay? But I will want you to understand that this is where we are. Without financial planning, black couples usually end up living paycheck to paycheck forever, right? So here's what works instead. Home ownership, property investment. Owning land and real estate should be a serious priority in the black couple, right? Because we're restoring both of you's really honor, right? Joint financial goals, investing together, not just I make mine and you make yours. It is a waste of time. You will never get nowhere. Black people have been targeted so specifically, right, at our gender roles, at our income levels, right, like for how confident we speak, if we knew how to read. There is no level of division that is going to be able to bring black community back together in a way that succeeds, right? Financial literacy together, teaching kids about money, avoiding debt traps, and ensuring the next generation doesn't start from zero. Stop living in the moment, build for the future, right? And let's just be serious. How hard is it for black people to date compared to others? Much harder, okay? No generational wealth, no safety net. White couples can hit date for love because they aren't consistently in survival mode. Black couples usually have to date while managing financial trauma, student debt, and family burdens, right? There's more unpaid labor in a black relationship, so it leads to more stress in a couple. Black women work more hours and still do more housework, right? Because they typically get paid lower than the guy, even though the guy ain't get paid a lot. This leads to exhaustion and emotional detachment. Black men feel pressure to prove themselves financially, even when systemic oppression keeps them from wealth. There's no amount of hard work that you can put in to fix this. I had this allegory that you could be the best apple picker in the world, but if there was a drought, there will be no fruit on these trees. It does not matter. It does not matter how good of a picker you are. Right? It doesn't matter. Higher economic insecurity, more breakups and instability. Money is the number one reason for breakups, and black couples have less financial cushion than white couples. This makes relationships feel like more of a risk. The reality check is this. White couples aren't inherently better at love, okay? And this is something that black dudes need to stop acting like they be saying they got a preference. They really don't. They really don't. Like, you don't got enough money to have a preference. Okay, so they're just dating with more resources, less pressure, and a system built for them. Black couples are trying to love each other while fighting systems and centuries of systemic barriers. Okay, the final message is we need a relationship model built for our reality. The American dating system was never built for us. Right? The provider model does not work on black men when they were systemically robbed. Right? The independent woman model doesn't work on black women when they're overworked and exhausted. Right? The better structure is partnership over outdated gender roles, fair distribution of financial and unpaid labor, and building wealth together instead of struggling separately. Because black love is not the problem. Okay, the system we're forced to love under is.